Okay, so there's this new app called Clubhouse, right? Clubhouse is an audio chat app that basically is three-way calling on steroids, where you get the opportunity to jump into different people's phone conversation, and their only sole purpose, well, many people, their sole purpose of being there is to share information, to give a gift in some way through experience or through applying knowledge, as well as to learn, to network, to grow. It is the world's sixth degree of separation remover. It is the no more excuser. It is the best tribe builder on the planet, and it's called Clubhouse. Check it out, Clubhouse audio chat. Look it up. You got to get an iPhone for right now, but it's exploding. I'll tell you how big it is. The assets are in the millions, and it's only in beta. It's only been out since last April, and as of right now, that means it has not been a year. Check it out. I'm meeting some amazing people every single day. I'm there every single day from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 Eastern Standard Time for the AP Morning Show, which the AP stands for Accountability Partners, and it's also my first and middle name, Aaron Prentice, for those that don't know. So you can catch me there. I'm hanging out live. It's just I can't explain it to you. Just come on over there or drop me a line. So I'm meeting LT, one of the newest people that I met in this environment where I've been building my tribe. And LT has become one of my favorite people. Let's hang out with her for a few.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Wait, let me see. Is it mute? Hey, Aaron, can you hear me? I can't hear you. No. Hold on.
There
Oh,
you
I'm here.
go. I can hear you now. What up,
Hey, now.
LT?
What's up? Hey, Ron.
Would it be LT?
Man, it just be me in this house right now, in my
I feel
sister's
you.
house, just chilling.
The actual clubhouse, right? The
The
real life
clubhouse.
version.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They actually, matter of fact, your business partner Sherry was just in the room in the bay room,
Okay.
and they was just chopping it up, and I told them, I said, y'all can carry on. I'll be back. Like if y'all still here, but they're talking about
Right.
ancestry, and I said that's the whole purpose of the room is to build and expand your connections with people, like-minded people. So
Right. Right. 100%. OMG, I'm happy to actually see you in like half
ah,
real life. In like half
yes,
real life, at least. Oh man. I was just right before you came on at the top of this, I was just kind of recording a segment just talking about like Clubhouse and just the environment and just how amazing it's been and all the people that I met and the fact that going from 0 to 100 with people in love, like from the perspective of meeting people that like are like-minded people, your peeps that you didn't even know existed, but you knew they existed. They're out there. It's just a matter of the serendipity and the intention making you cross paths.
absolutely. I'm with you.
OMG,
I'm with you.
LT.
I know,
So I
right?
so I know we've been talking, but like this is like, this is the halfway process to the real thing, right? So it's like
Okay.
I can't believe it. I'm like, I'm actually looking at LT right now. Like this is crazy. Oh
It's
man.
me. It's me.
I know, right? Oh man. We had a great room earlier too, as
Oh man, so
always.
dope.
You
Yes,
know,
so dope.
great time. Yeah, I was just heading out here to the music store to drop off one of my keyboards for repair. And so on the way back, I was like, yeah, let me chop it up with LT, catch up for a bit, see how
Yes,
she's doing, and just hang out
yeah,
for a minute.
yeah, man.
You know what I'm
Thank you
saying?
for that serenade the other morning. It was
Oh man.
dope. And then Pam, I am texting me was like, "Are you on Facebook watching them? Like you gotta watch them." So we left Clubhouse to come over to Facebook to see you over
Right,
there.
right. That's so
So that was
crazy.
dope to see you in your element.
Right, right. Yeah, because a lot of people here in the clubhouse environment, they don't know me from the way that like the rest of my audience knows me. Like, all the people that are on Facebook and YouTube with me, like the thousands and thousands of people that are there, they all know me from playing the piano. Some people know me from way back in the days when I was a hip hop artist like alone. Like that was, the only thing I did. Then there's a lot of people that know me from the whole gospel, the decade in the gospel industry with the backing tracks, my company Fruition Music. And then there's people that know me from like just playing the piano in general, like just being a piano artist and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
everybody that's on Clubhouse, like it's so interesting. I'm meeting like brand new family, people who we're getting to know each other around the fact that we've had some things in common, in conversation and in topics, and these kind of things. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it has
It's
really
been a
been an
beautiful
amazing
experience,
journey.
though. It is. It is. It's really amazing. It's beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
one of those things. Like I can't make this up.
Right. Right.
Can't make
I
this
can
up.
I cannot make this up even if I tried.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like it's surreal, but it's so real,
Yeah.
you know.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh, I see. Let me turn my GPS down. Let's see. Settings. Let's go software. Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking about how you and Dianara met the other day,
I
how
know,
cool that
right? I was trying to
was.
meet you first, and then
I know,
I
right?
was like, "What the heck?"
The serendipity. The serendipity. One wrong number.
Yes,
I
I'm
put
like,
one wrong number to
and my daughter was like texting. She was like, "You never respond." So I called, and the dude was like, "You have the wrong number." I was like, "Ooh."
Damn.
I'm
And
like,
it was so
"Oh."
crazy about that is I never give out the wrong number.
And then
But
I was
as they
trying to ping
say,
you. You was in a room and everything. I was trying to ping you in a room.
right.
But you was on stage, I think in one of Coco room. I was like, ah, he probably don't see this. He probably ain't looking in his inbox. I'm like, gee.
Yeah. And in fact, when I was what day was this? Was this Saturday? I think I was actually with my daughter on
Okay.
Saturdays. So I think I was just actually listening in
Okay.
to Coco's room. But yeah, so it's been so amazing. So, we had a lot of fun today. It was so cool to learn about your name. I'm telling you, that was the coolest thing ever because I would work with people around brands that's based on their names. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you dropped that LT was a brand all by itself, I was like, oh, I know
Yeah.
that so what. And I was like, that's what I was thinking, but I was like, yeah, this is so cool. It defines you. It like it's so cool
Yeah.
and it's unique.
She is a brand. Like everything is under like you won't be able to find like anything else. I've been using you know what the interesting thing is that when I was transitioning into this part of the brand, like when people Google me, you can still find like what the brand was before, like how it
Well, right,
evolved. So
right.
I'll teach a class or something, and then somebody will be like, "Oh, I see you got this and you got this." I'm like, "Man, I don't even use them platforms anymore. Like, how am I
Right.
still over there? How am I still there?" Like, oh, okay, I need to go clean
Yeah.
that up. I need to
I know
go
that
erase
feeling,
that.
right? Or just, in some cases, you just gotta let it be and just go ahead and keep building what you're building.
Absolutely.
That's that
Hey,
honestly,
I'm
like,
all of them and none of them at the same time, so it don't really
there
matter.
you go. There you go.
It don't really matter. They just it's where you catch me at.
That's it. That's it. That's called evolution. Literally, where you catch me is where you catch me. And hopefully
Hmm.
you'll appreciate me where you catch me
When
because
you catch me, but catch me when you catch me.
I tell you one thing, I appreciate me and I'm good. I
Yes.
this has really been a fun journey. If you can take me back, I wanna actually go back to learn about you all over again. I'm listening to you as I'm driving. I'm in a different headspace.
Hmm.
We're not in the midst of a whole bunch of people. And like, so I want you to take me back. Where are you originally from again?
Newark, New Jersey, where I am now.
Originally from Newark, New Jersey. One of my favorite rappers, Redman,
Red
is
Man is from here. Yeah, I
yeah.
know Red.
Wow. Brick City.
Yeah.
So okay, so New Jersey. And then from New Jersey, you went straight from there to Cali, or you were, or
to North
you
Carolina. I lived
to
in
North
Charlotte.
Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that was in 2009. I left
Okay.
here and went to Charlotte, and I was in Charlotte from 2009 to 2015.
Gotcha.
And then I
2009
moved
to
to Cali.
2015. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was it family? Was it career? What took you to Cali? Took you east or west?
So there was a couple of things that needed to shift with
Okay.
me and California. So when I went to Charlotte from New Jersey, that was the healing part. I really needed to heal. And then once I got to Charlotte, everything was actually going well. And I just got this thought, like Spirit saying, go to California. And I'm like, California?
Right.
So I was like, all right, give me instructions, I'll do it, whatever. So wound up just selling everything and packing and moving to California. But when I looked at the benefits of it, my dad was there.
Right.
And so my dad being able to be grandpa, me being able to get support and have family near me was most important.
Right.
And I have my girls, they were younger. So I wanted them to still get the same experience that I got with my dad, because their dad lives in Florida and he wasn't active. So I'm like, I need my girls to still get what they need to get, you know. And so moving to California was that. And then with me studying the way that I was studying with all the different people like Tony Robbins and Lisa Nichols and all those other people, I'm like, I'm just a drive away if I move there. So we packed up and we left when we went there. And so it wasn't until I think it was like the October, I was just like, wait a minute. Did I really like move to California and left like all of my people on the East Coast and just move? Like, I'm like, so I was like, yeah, y'all got about like another 4 or 5 years. I told my youngest son, and then I'm out. Like, I'm gonna get me an RV and I'm traveling somewhere. I don't be doing. So they tripping off me. They're like, you crazy. I'm like, listen, I only stay still because of y'all. I wouldn't have been this still. I wouldn't be like in some house, you know, mothering if it wasn't for y'all. I don't know what my life would be, but I don't think that it would be in this form.
Right. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. Wow, that's fascinating. So like you say, you go towards North Carolina for healing. Spirit tells you go to Cali, move there, your dad's there. Did you wind up getting an RV? Did you wind up doing it that way?
No, not yet. It's in the works.
It's in the works. Got you. It's wild because I've been looking a lot at RVs because I've been, me and my business partner have been looking at things as far as RV life for my street serenades concept that I have.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we're working on tours. Like we're doing a number of things. So it's interesting. So you moved to Cali. Did you say in 2015?
Yep, 2015. Yep.
Okay.
I actually was able to find some RV like vans. Like, so I don't need a big spot. I just needed to have the bed in the back, the bathroom, in the like the water and all that other stuff. And they actually are on sale. So they're not like big RVs, because I only need a small one to be able to travel with. So yeah, I found a couple.
Wow.
In the last like 2 months, to be honest, like the last 2 months.
Wow. So we will definitely be. We got so many things that we'll always be continuing to talk about. But it's like, wow. I mean, we definitely have some conversations around that because I'm curious, about how you see that. I'm just starting to think about, RV life and that kind of thing, and I'm just starting to, brainstorm on ideas and these kind of things. So, yeah, that's fascinating. So, okay, so right now that's your station in North Carolina.
Say it again.
You're stationed in Cali, or you're stationed in? You're stationed in North Carolina. You live
today?
Where do you live in?
I live in California.
You live in Cali. What part of Cali do you live in?
I live in Southern California. It's called the Inland Empire. So I live I'm like smack in the middle between San Diego and LA. So either way I go is about an hour and 30 minutes either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never stepped foot on Cali soil like a day in my
Really?
life. Right. The reason why is because when I was younger, see, I've traveled the world mentally in so many
Mm.
ways, and I've been out of the country one time. That was for a trip to Bermuda in 2011. I went there with my band, and it was just for a weekend, but it was the greatest trip ever.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, my mom was a homebody, so growing up, like we never went anywhere, you know, as far as traveling out. Now my mother exposed me to a lot, like as far as museums and parks and theater
Mm-hmm.
arts and all that kind of stuff. But she wasn't really the traveling type as far as going places. Now she's actually, I call her traveling woman now, because since she's retired, now you can't keep her still. Now she's enjoying herself, and I'm so happy about that. But yeah, I used to be, she was a homebody, so I've never stepped foot on Cali soil, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm gonna be traveling the world, But with that, what was that like? How have you liked West Coast life in comparison to East Coast life?
Realized over the last, I want to say 3 years, that I did, I followed what Spirit wanted me to follow and
Yeah,
do, but I really didn't realize how tremendously big California is.
okay,
And so for me, I also recognize that I am a city country girl. Like,
right,
I need
okay,
city and I need country, I need community. And California is one of those places that you either work with people
yeah,
or your kids play sports or you're into certain things, especially in my area, or you're pretty much not doing anything. And so it became a bit lonely. So actually, Clubhouse really kind of helped to anchor me in to be in California, like now, like without thinking like, oh man, I need to move. Because that was my story. Like, I can't wait another 4 years and I'm out of here. Right. And then I
right,
said, stop telling yourself, learn how to appreciate why you're here, this and the other. But it's just extremely big. And it depends on your lifestyle. Me being a
right,
mom and still having my children and helping them to mature and grow, it was a beautiful experience for them. You know, they got to be there and meet different kind of people and all that stuff. My son is actually into music as well. And so he's been playing the drums since he was 2. And so he's
okay,
into like just like he does like the sound at his church and stuff like that. So he's been able to find his tribe. But for me, I'm just like, yeah, I left things that I needed. I didn't realize what I needed until I left it,
wow,
which is interesting. I didn't realize that I was really a city country girl where I need a little bit of city, like I need a street light and I need stop signs and I need
right.
transportation, but I also need that feel of, hey, like I know my neighbors and they know
Oh yeah,
me.
neighbors,
Yeah,
yeah,
I need to know that. I need to feel like I'm involved in a community activity, and
right.
I don't get that in Cali.
Wow, let me tell you something, LT. Like this really hits me deep because number one, you'll hear if you listen to Amachandra, Sanahara Amachandra, if you listen to her speak, she talks about this. We have talked about this for years, and she feels the same way. It's like knowing your neighbors, being able to feel that sense of village, that sense of tribe and community. Like some of us really, really need that. Um, there's a lot of people I know in the musician world that are friends of mine that travel to Cali for the quote unquote Cali experience. You know, really for like trying to find fortune and fame, but many of
Mm-hmm.
them have. I realize, and I've thought about this for years. So I know one or two of them that made it and made it in that kind of place, but most of them didn't make it, and most of them wound up realizing that once they got there, what they went there for, it wasn't quite. They weren't cut out for that kind of life.
And it's
Yeah,
not what it's all cracked up to be. Like
right.
California is a beautiful place to be able to see like God's like structure with the mountains and the water. Like you get all of that, and it's just beautiful. I mean, the weather is always great, but it's also a place where they have displayed to us that is like a dangling token in front of us, like come live out here, this, that, and the other. And people are literally killing themselves in a sense to live in a place to fulfill this or to try to obtain this shiny tool that doesn't exist, doesn't exist. So I was just like, yeah, it's like me switching out of the career that I was in and still trying to find my way. And I kept telling my dad, like, I can't find my way. Like, I feel like I haven't found my way, which was totally different. When I was in Charlotte, I literally was on radio and knew nothing about radio just by knowing the people that I knew. I was able to go and teach at the schools and create programs just by the people that I met in Charlotte. Now, I've been able to do a commercial out there. Like I had my first spin at a commercial just because the truck that I drive and I go get my, like from Kia, when they said, hey, we need a customer to do a commercial, who do you know? They was like, LT. She's number one. So I can build relationships, but and I said to myself, I said, for the next 4 or 5 years, I want to take full advantage of the space and really get out and see California. Like, it's the one place that you don't have to vacation from, though. You don't have to go anywhere, because if you want to go somewhere, you can just drive to Vegas and you're there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, you go to the beach, you go to casinos, it's that kind of a stuff. But when it comes to like family, nah. And even my dad has been there since I was 10. So he's been here a long time. And when I was explaining to him, like, man, this is not the place for me, he was just like, I was like, I have no friends out here. And he's like, yeah, I understand. I have no friends either. Like, he drives this truck, but he don't have no friends. Like, he doesn't have nobody to hang out with. Like, it ain't that kind of place. So he understood. But he's like, you sure where you going to go? I said, I don't know, man. Like, why can't we just decide as we're traveling? Like, I'll just be here, or I'll just be here. And that's what gave me the concept of, hey, get your RV and you can be wherever you want to be.
I definitely, yeah. So that makes a lot of sense. So you have places that have different things that like creates those spaces, and one of the biggest things is like the psychology of the people or the mindset. I don't know how this falls in the equation to you, but a lot of people that I know that try to escape to Cali, they're thinking of the fortune and the fame, but they're not thinking about the fact that when they go out there, now I say this with a grain of salt because I feel like we're all unique, but at the same time, when you think you're just the shit and like you're just the next best thing to sliced bread, you move to a place like Cali, people come or Atlanta or New York, these places, people like you can come a dime a dozen, and not like you, but you know what I mean? Like, and I see a lot of people that do that. They kind of go out there with a bit of ego, a bit of a big head around, like, and it's not that you shouldn't be confident in your gift, because I mean, that's why I support it. I'd rather you go and honestly have a failure in order to learn from it than to not give it a try. Like, so I think everybody should, just follow their heart in that regard. But I just realized that, yeah, Cali's not the place that you want to go with the big with the big ego. And maybe for some people, maybe that is how they actually make it, because their ego pushes them to the top. But other than that, there's no in between. You either over the top or you fall in the cracks or the crevices.
Right. You're absolutely right. And you have a great assessment of it. I mean, if you were to ride down Skid Row has like so many tents and so many people who have come to California for the sake of you go for fame and fortune, and they wind up homeless. Like, I'm talking about Skid Row is like blocks and blocks.
Wow.
Like, literally is like my son and I went out there to take some stuff to Beauty to the Streets,
Right.
and some stuff that we collected, and he said, wow, this is like the apocalypse. Like he was just like,
Right. Wow.
he said, this is scary. And I was like, wow. I said, I didn't even look at it like that.
Right. Yeah,
But
it's
it is.
like a community unto itself. You know, it reminds me of that movie. What was that movie I watched? No, it wasn't Amistad. It'll come back to me, but yeah, it just reminds me of this movie where people are just like in this big area and it's very, very impoverished, but it's like an enclosed area. But yeah, that's what I that story right there. I've heard that story so many times of people, and again, what I was even saying, like a lot of times that's how the story ends. You know, that they wind up homeless or
Yep.
broke. I know two people. One guy I went to audio engineering school with, who went out there. He was a guitar player and just a genius musician. He had a brilliant ear. Um, and he went out there and he made it. But honestly, for every one that I know five that didn't. You know, so
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying though, as far as your tribe though. Just period. Like no matter where a person is, like some of us are amongst our family, but not amongst our tribe. And again, that's why I appreciate you. That's why I'm really enjoying just listening to your story. You know, I think about how people meet each other. I think about the winding roads that eventually cross paths, you know, and all the choices that we made that put us where we are today, you know. And so yeah, I'm just enjoying learning, you know, learning about you and learning about your journey. So you said you were in radio. Um, and so tell me more about that. You were in radio. Did you say in Atlanta or am I just
In Charlotte.
in Charlotte? I'm sorry. So tell me about that time. When did you go on radio? Like what were you, you know, where were you? How many years? What was it like?
I was actually I had just self-published my first book,
Okay.
and I was just out and about going to like different events and stuff like that, and
Right.
I met up with the manager of the station on a yacht party. Introduced myself,
What station is this?
the school, and he was all about the community stuff. And so he was like, "Hey, if you ever want to come and promote anything, you know, just come by the station." All right, all
Okay.
right, cool. I would go by the station and sit in with him in the morning and have conversations. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I wonder what it's like to work at the radio. And
Right.
I reached out to him and I was like, hey, can I do an apprenticeship? And he was just like, absolutely.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I went in there.
Nice.
Folks were just
Nice.
oh, your voice is amazing. Like, you sound good on radio. And I became part of the morning show. So that's
Wow.
what I'm saying. Like, it's literally you actually putting out there what you want, connecting the dots, walking into what it is that you want, and like, oh, dang, didn't know that was
Right.
possible. I guess it was possible then, you know?
For sure. What station was this?
WGIV.
Okay. Is W, you know, I've never, this is another place I haven't been yet. I mean, I've been through Georgia, but I haven't been like in Atlanta. I haven't hung out. I mean, I keep saying Atlanta. I mean to say, uh, I've been through Charlotte, but I actually don't know of this particular radio station. Is this a popular one?
Well, it was. Hold on one sec. I need a. He
Okay,
So
yeah,
it was
take your time.
a black owned station,
Yeah,
and they were the first black owned station. The guy eventually sold the company, like sold the station,
right.
but black owned station, and they were the first ones. Like they've been around for a long time. So I was surprised when they actually sold it.
Wow.
I'm surprised they sold it. So yeah, it was around for a long time.
Are there any like video or audio out there of the show that you were on with you on it?
Um, I'm pretty sure the guy that used to manage our sound thing, he used to have like my stuff in a Dropbox, but he took it
Okay.
out. I don't know why he took it out.
Oh wow.
He took it out.
I don't know if you ever have contact with that person, but you should ask if if by some reason, some chance he has that, because I'm willing to bet that's gold. Like, I say that because, you know, as I listen to your stories, I listen to the person who I've gotten to know over these past couple of weeks. Like, the way that everything came together for you, and combined with like your personality, it's just so dope. It's so, let me say this. One of my favorite aspects about you that you remind me a whole lot of myself is in your student of life mentality. Like, you know, I love the way that you approach learning and observing things and taking things in, like educating yourself. You know, I really, really, you know, appreciate that. I mean, because I'm that same way. Like, I value the ability to learn, or I value education and the opportunity to learn something. I value that more than money, you know, more than gold, more than
Me
silver.
too.
Like, I value that shit, you know, and that comes from my mother, you know, being a 36-year school teacher, and, you know, being the type of person where, you know, as far back as I could remember, just being able to recognize objects and shapes. I was looking at words and colors, and I was being exposed to books and museums and, you know, all kinds of information, you know, so it just made me a person that was really into information. My family members all remember my childhood as me riding in the back of an 88 Ford Tempo, um, in the back seat with like 2 piles of books on each side of me, you know, like how 15 books high, you know, and that was my source of fun. My mother she really worked hard to educate and to expose me. So it made me really value education, you know. So when I see somebody else like yourself, like, I recognize that. I'm like, oh man, we think a whole lot alike as far as our openness, our open-mindedness, you know, how we look at things as far as
Yeah,
learning and educating. It's so cool.
I agree. I agree. Like I always tell you that. I'm like, man, you're my twin in so many ways.
Right.
I just can't play
Right.
the keys or nothing. I don't know nothing about that life. That's a gift, man. For like my brother plays by ear, um,
Right.
and I'd be amazed. Like, yo, like, you know, my niece actually writes and raps, write and sing. And so
Nice.
to watch her, she's like, she just turned 18, but when I say she's so dope, but she get it honestly. My brother used to rap, her mother's a singer, and he plays music. So it just comes together. I'm like, dang, like
That's
that
so
skipped me.
cool.
That skipped me.
Hey, but you still got the creativity though, and that's the thing. You got the creativity. To me, it's just creativity, and it just comes out in different expressions, you know. And to me, you got the creativity when it comes to just who you are as a personality, and the way you flow, and the way you just love, and the way you know, just live and appreciate people and appreciate the world around you, your perspective. Like, to me, you got the creativity, you know, it just is applied to something different, you know, and
Yeah,
that's the coolest part.
you're right. You're right. You're right. Listen, I do not take for granted that I'm able to tap in the way that I'm able to tap in. I understand that it's a gift. I'm learning how to cultivate it more and more, but I know it's
Right.
a gift. I know it's a gift.
100%.
Sometimes it shows up and I go, I don't know who just said that. Like, I'm like, that wasn't me. Like that wasn't, you wasn't really talking to me. I channeled that from somewhere. So
Right, right. That was the inner me.
yeah, that was the enemy. So you know, when I always introduce her, and I'm like, her name is B. I call her just B, and
Nice.
so you'll meet her from time to time, but it's not me. Like it's not LT because I can't repeat it once it's said. That's when
Right.
I know it's not me.
Look, I
They were
feel
like,
you on
no.
that. That's actually, you know what's wild about that? You literally just named how it is when I'm in my deepest zone, when I'm playing the piano, or when I'm in my deepest zone, like in that euphoric place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I I can't, it's coming through me. I can't repeat to you what I said, even if I wanted to, like, because it's just a zone that's in the moment. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just in a particular flow, you know. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
this, like I'm talking right now. I'm not even trying to, but it's just how I flow. It's just how I hear, how I talk. But that comes from being in that flow. And that's why I recognize you and how you move and what you do and how you think and everything. Because like you said, we twinning out here. Like, you know, some real cool stuff. You know, tell me more about your son. So your son is into music. First of all, how old is your son? Or around how old is he?
He's 25.
He's 25? Okay.
Yeah. I know I don't look like I got a 25-year-old, but I do.
Oh, exactly. I was just about to say that.
So I have 5. I have 5 children.
Wow, you got the B-ball team. Let's go. The starting 5.
Yeah. So, so it's 25, 21, 19, 16, and 14.
Wow, that is beautiful.
2 boys and 3 girls.
Wow. That is beautiful. So I have 1 biological and 3 that I claim and that I, you know, see as my own children.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. So so your son is 25.
Mm-hmm.
And you say your son is into music. What kind of music is he into? First of all, what's his name?
Jacques.
Jacques, okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of music does Jacques do?
He's into everything. Like sometimes he's walking around listening to some country. And I'm like, what do you listen to? Like he introduces me to stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. But he's very, 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 very intuitive. And he has a gift. He has a gift. Like when I say he's been playing since 2, like literally used to take the pots out of the cabinet, place them on the floor the way that he know how to play them or whatever, and would beat on them all the time. Wow. And so he's just, you know, I listen to him. He's like, you know, got his whole setup in the garage and got his microphones and all that other stuff. So I'm just, you know, trying to get to know him in his world, like, because that's his world.
I love it. So he's got like studio equipment in there.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that the church that found him at the music store. Whenever we go somewhere, he's always at Guitar Center or at somebody's music store. Sam Ad somewhere.
That sounds like how I was. I was the same way.
They found him. So that's how he got the English tribe in California, by being at the music store.
That's so cool. Yeah, I used to hang out a lot at the music store, especially as a keyboardist, you know, because I could go in there and you can, you know, go in the piano section and such a wide variety. You know, you get a chance to just really, it's like an amusement park, you know, for a musician. You know, the amusement park experience, you know, and I used to so enjoy that, you know, and I practice in there, and sometimes, you know, you even have people that will really be enjoying you and stopping. You know, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. It's the space that y'all can just be as your gym, musician's gym, really, to be in that space. Somebody needs to start a musician's gym and just not the music store. That would really be dope. If the musicians had a gym to work out, you know?
Right.
I think that would be dope. Really dope. Nobody has a musician gym. Like, why is there no musician gym?
Because basically musicians go to the music store and basically do the same thing, and the music store usually loves it because then they have people. They basically have free product demonstrators because then when you have people that come in that are like, you know, wanting to get into music, and you see somebody sitting there like myself that's playing on the piano, you don't mind as long as I keep it down and don't like have it so loud that you can't talk on the phone. That you can't talk on the phone to the customers and clients. So believe it or not, like they kind of allow for it to be a little bit of a gym in a way, like where people can just come in there and play, and they actually want musicians to play, so that way, they could be basically free product demonstrators. So yeah, that's really cool. Is his music is there anywhere online where, does he record his music and put on YouTube or anything like that where I could
No,
hear
I
some
think
of
he
it?
has like maybe a couple of old songs from like maybe 2000 and. You want your room? You want me to get out? Oh, okay. You go in your room. I'm at my sister's. Um,
Oh,
I think I don't know. I gotta find his YouTube channel. I think
right,
he telling him like, Jock, you are a brand. So
right. That's what's up. I can't wait to hear what he does. Like, yeah, that's exciting, and I can only imagine, uh, whatever he's doing, his creativity in it or his ear, especially being with, especially you being his mom. I tell you, I definitely. So I wanted to catch up with you, in a couple ways. Number one, like we have so much fun in this accountability room every
oh yeah,
morning.
man, that's the dopest room out for real. That's one of the rooms that people can come in and really meet their tribe. Like
Right,
whether they want to or not, you're gonna meet the people up in there.
right.
So I'm thankful that that was my very initial my first room to be in to learn. You know what I mean, and to just
Right.
actually it was my first room. I don't even know how I got in the room. Yeah,
Did
I
you
have no clue how I got in
that's
that room.
funny. That's funny too. I'm trying to think how that unfolded too. How long have you actually been on Clubhouse now? Like when
I
did
think
you
since the
do
21st of December. I think since the 21st.
21st? Okay.
Just a couple of weeks, but it feels like I've been up there for a long time.
I know, right? I
I
know.
haven't. I don't even think I'm a month in.
And that's just because it's so much in each experience. When you think about the fact, when you compare it to any other form of social media, I have, like I always say, you hear me say this all the time, like I've been on all the platforms. I
I
have
know. That's
like,
what you naming off that stuff. I'm like, what is he talking about? Some of the stuff I've never even heard of.
right. I've been on all these platforms since 2007. And, I've built communities on these different platforms. So I know them like the back of my hand. The thing about this one is that this makes every other platform seem slow in comparison as far as exchange, with your people, with your tribe, with your customers, with your clients, with your mentors or mentees. Like it makes everything else slow in comparison because you have to, if you're on a platform like Facebook, you have to say something, even if you're live, you got to actually wait on the person to text it, and then you have to assume how they feel based on what you're reading and that kind of thing. Like, but this is just automatic. I mean, you are immediately exchanging with people to where so much can happen in such short time. So you're able to build relationship on such a deep level in such short time.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
that's the
totally
thing
agree.
that's so deep
Which is,
about it.
have you been able to really connect with people from the music industry in there, or you just been building your community your way?
Yeah, because my goal hasn't been to connect with people musically here. It's been really what you have experienced, which is my goal has been to be with people, help them out with advice, with love, with being a listening ear, like standing in accountability, sharing self-care stuff, quotes or thoughts that will help them. So yeah, my goal here hasn't been about music because pretty much when it comes to music, you know, I'm I'm actually I'm actually pretty on point with with my goals and with the things that I'm doing,
Right.
you know. And what I've been doing in this recent time, like in the last couple of years, is really building personal brand around the other things that are, a major part of who I am. From the perspective of like philosophy and now I'm into psychology and psychotherapy, as well as engineering and just even down to my humor and these kind of things. So yeah, this environment I've been building like an organic tribe around just me as a person, as a whole person and everything that comes with, even
Mm-hmm.
building, even being a tribe builder. So that's what I'm excited about. And then I meet people like yourself and Auntie Gina and you know
Yeah,
SP, and it's just so good. It's
I
so
know.
good.
It is. It is.
So yeah, so what I'm getting ready to do now is, when it's one of those things where like I'm in the flow already, but I haven't even gotten started actually. And I say that based on what I do when I get into modes like this, and when I dig my heels in and I start to really plan in a macro way around it. I start to really build structure around it.
Mm-hmm.
Um and like and build up my plan, build my empire on it. So, I'm just getting started, and already the results that I'm getting is going deep in the direction that I'm going. So yeah, now like I was sharing with you earlier, now it's going to be called actually the AP Morning Show now. And AP actually is a double entendre. So on one side, it's, accountability partner. And
Mm-hmm.
then on the other side, it's my first name is Aaron and my middle name is Prentice. So a lot of people even call me AP. That's another nickname that people call me. Some people call me AP. So, but it's mainly around the accountability partner concept. And I'm getting ready to take this thing from here, like to the moon, with
Okay.
between between the consistency that I have and then the way that I'm flowing and the way that I'm starting to design like the flow, and then even what I'm doing outside of that, because what I'm basically doing is I'm taking my whole ship as far as my public figure career and all my social media status that's on all these other platforms. I mean, like my first YouTube channel, I have 70,000 subscribers on that channel, and
Okay.
and uh, um and I have about 2,500 videos on that channel and an email list of over 10,000. And then between Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Live 365, all the distribution platforms on, like I have a pretty global audience, for the things that I've in all those platforms. What I'm getting ready to do with Clubhouse is literally, instead of Clubhouse being the end of the road or another thing tacked onto that, I'm going to turn the entire ship around, where I take all of that success and all of that, and I squeeze it through Clubhouse, and use it to build this even bigger balloon. You know,
Okay.
yeah. So Clubhouse, it's because of everything we've been talking about, everything we know, and this kind of thing. So yeah, I'm shaping those things up. I'm starting to design, and I'm doing it in the way that you hear me doing it, in a very improvised way, where it's improvised, but it's also deeply strategic at the same time. So so I'm just excited about that, and even connecting with people like yourself. One of the things that I want to start doing is, when you come in the room, I want to
Mm-hmm.
start actually. I wanted to start making you a moderator as well.
Okay.
And the reason why is, and this will be like from a perspective of like, I love how flexible this thing is. So this will be, and the way that I'm building this formula is more like whenever you're just around, like,
Right.
you know, if during that time, you're there, like you are, you're there. If you can't be, you can't be. If you're there and you got to pop out, like whatever. It's just when you're there, this
Mm-hmm.
is, you know, I'm gonna add you as a moderator too, and that'll be, um, you know, what I notice is, there are different people that I'm meeting here that all have different traits, and all shine in different ways. And so I want to kind of work with you. I want to work with you in a place, that where I see you shining and where I see you going, you know, and
Okay.
where it makes sense in what I'm doing too, and what I'm growing. One thing I want to tell you, another thing I want to compliment you on that I really like about you is I like how you study me. I love the fact, yes, yes. Look how she looks. She's like, what? Yep, I might not say it, but no, I see. I know that my senses are very deep. You know, I'm very intuitive. Plus, you know, I told you I'm in school for psychotherapy and psychology, and I didn't know psychology was my thing, and like and that really linked me to being an audio engineer and into business and music and everything. Like so. Anyway, long story short, yeah. No, I yeah no, I actually appreciate it. I want to tell you that
Oh,
I actually
thank you.
appreciate it. Yes, yes. Because again, it makes sense to me in the fact that you know we think a lot alike and we share a lot in common. And the other thing too, as a person that just understands these principles, the principles that I stand for, how I move, and all these things, like it's a significant thing. It actually these are principles, these are ways of being that really actually move you in the direction that you really want to go. Like that's why I'm so excited every day to share as much as I can with as many people as I can because everything that I do is strategic. You know, if it's very loose and flowy, but that's because of the fact that I live from my heart and from the place of just flowing in improvisation. But it's very much in that as well, orchestrated, you know, and deliberate. You know, and I know you see that. You know, that's one of the things that you see as well, because again, you move in that way. So yeah,
Hmm.
I wanted to tell you I appreciate that, and that is the greatest thing that you can do. One of my favorite mentors online is Gary V. Right? Are you familiar with Gary V?
I am, but I haven't studied them yet.
Right. So one of the things that Gary V says is he says not so much don't pay as much as attention to what I say. Like just do what I do. Like and I forgot how he says it in a different way, but it's basically
That's
like
the best way to get
yes,
results is to do what you see other people do.
that's it. That's it. And so many people are either afraid of that or have hangups with that or think, and I'm like, that is what everything is. Like that's what it is. And you're gonna be your own unique expression of you. But this is how you learn. It's the best way to learn. So I say that to say that Gary Vee is always stressing when people ask him questions, he answers them. He gives so many deep verbal answers all the time, and then he's also like, just follow my lead. Just do what I do. Because that's gonna show you, I don't even have to tell you. If you just do exactly what I do, boom. And so I just say that to say, like, I really appreciate that trait in you because that's the same trait that I have. And that's how I learned so much as well, you know. Yeah. So I just wanted to appreciate you on that and tell
That's
you,
why
I
people
see you,
struggle, though.
LT.
You know, that's why
Yeah.
people struggle because we give them instructions, right, and then they start second guessing what you say.
Yeah.
You asked me a question, I gave you the answer. Now all you have to do is just do what I just told you to do. But your ego, most people ego won't allow them to do what you told them to do. That's just like when the first day I was in a room and you said, okay, so I'm gonna hold you accountable for opening up a room. You said start
Right.
the room with so and so, you know, just the instruction. And so I first started to type it and I said, and then it just dropped on me. You know what I
Right.
did? I went into Facebook into a group and started
Right.
telling them, like, you know what? Clubhouse is Bay. And as soon as I said that, it was like ping, that's the room you start. And I was like, oh, okay. Find it
Yeah.
Bay. And left it at that.
Yeah. Right. Let me tell you, when you told me that name, I told somebody the other day, and this is why I love it. It was so amazing for that moment to happen, for me to say what I said to you, for you to serendipity plus intention equals life. The same thing, and the way you wound up in the room, the way my intention was to hold the room, and your intention, which got you there, for us to have that conversation. You went and you created Finding Bay. When you came back, like the next day or whatever, the very next time we talked, it was so brilliant what happened. I forgot that I was even a part of that and everything. Like it was, and because of the fact that I talked to so many people, but I told somebody the other day, it was so brilliant. I thought that this was something you were telling me that you had like been established, and it was like I forgot that fast.
Yeah, Aaron, like it doesn't even. My brand is about reset, right?
Right.
My brand is about getting your shift together. And I just said to somebody, I said, I haven't even talked about reset. I haven't talked about
Right.
getting together, none of that. I said, I've just been hosting Find and Bang. And then I told him,
Right.
I said, this is the first time that I didn't do anything regiment this year. Coming into the new year,
Wow.
I didn't do anything. Like I didn't go on a fast. I didn't create a regiment for this. I didn't do
Right.
nothing that I would normally do. I just wanted to chill. Like I haven't set up my computer and worked on any business stuff. All I've been doing is connecting on Clubhouse. That's it. Just connecting. That's it.
Yeah. Right.
But
And
when I do
that's
go sit down, baby, that's when everything gonna come together.
and this is why we're here and why I'm so excited about this time, because you know, yeah, when you came back with that, when we talked about it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's brilliant. Like this is about to be on. Now, as a producer, as a musician, like especially coming back from the A&R rep days and the talent scout days, you would see a bunch of people. You'll have a number of people that's talented, and then you would just have that one that it just pops. It's just a magical thing, the person just has a unique sound, just at the right time, blah blah blah, all these kind of things. So, like I was telling you earlier, even everyone in the room, like that's how I see life now, not just music. So when you came back with that idea, it was like that. It was like seeing a hit song. It was like seeing a hit song before it's even like gotten out there into the world yet. Like it was like that, because especially with the acronym concept, because that allows it to go in so many different directions and have so much life for so long. And then
Yeah,
it's simple. And then it's simple to remember. It's short. It's a colloquial phrase that we use already, and it's already affectionate. Like LT, you get the opportunity of a lifetime with this. And then, and I'm saying this directly to you, it's matched up with the right personality and the right person. Yes. And that's the beauty. That's the thing I'm excited about this and how this is all coming together. You did, and here's the thing, you did it again. Exactly what I told you. I was like, LT, I'm on vacation, but I want to sit down with you because I'm a consultant for this whole deal. Like, and in fact, during the vacation, like I was telling you, Sherry and I actually started building the foundation of our consulting business, and now we're rolling. Now we're in the seat, we're rocking, and now we starting to serve people. But this is what I do every day, though. I just talk to people and just tell them what to do, how to do it. Like that's what I do. The residual is all there. I flow in this way. I give everyone my science, teach people how to do it. So I'm saying that to say that, yeah, I was like, just keep hosting rooms. Just don't even worry about building anything else yet. Just keep doing this. Because this right here, this is what, when I built my business from 0 to 6 figures in 5 years, and it was through that consistency of finding a thing like this and continuing to just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And the snowball just kept building and building and building, you know. And before you know it, it was like it was global, you know. Um, and when I see that with other people and ideas, I'm like, boom, that's it, do that. So you did that, and I'm glad that you continue to do it because I'm gonna tell you, right now, your personality
mm-hmm.
alone and just showing up is one of the biggest and most magnetic things ever. And then
Wow,
on top of that,
I
your
appreciate that.
conversation. Oh yes. And then on top of that, your conversation and everything that you've already built that you bring to the table, as far as your brand is concerned. Um, but the thing that allowed me to grow as fast as I did and for it to do what it did was because of the fact that I let the light shine, like in the equation. The light was me as a giving person, and I created something. I created a brand that was really accessible, no friction, very little friction, and it was in that giving, loving place. And to this day, that's what it is, and that's who I am in my personality. So yeah, that's why I'm like, oh yeah, there's so much goodness here. And yeah, I today when we were in the room, I was like, yeah, yeah. I'm a producer, so naturally I see how things shape up. I see how things start to shape up and move, and I'm like, yeah, like LT, you are on your way, and I'm saying on your way as in not in the future, as in this is what's happening to you right now. You're
Mm.
bec- you're becoming an audio celebrity.
Mm. I received that.
Yeah, you're becoming like you are becoming an audio celebrity. I'm saying that as in you are already an audio celebrity with our family and with this group, and what it's doing is continuing to grow out. Like you're becoming like you're gonna be a big audio celebrity here in this app, like in no time, and it'll be in what I in real business, call an overnight success, which is like, in these next several months and then over this next year's time, as we, because I'm telling you, like it's some people just have it. Some people just have just the right package. That's just boom. You just drop the right thing in the right spot and boom. And so you're naturally magnetic. And yeah, and what I see here, even in what we've done so far and how you are, who you are, I was like, yeah. So when I think about, so now, like I said, I'm shaping up this thing. Now I'm calling it a morning show. Now I'm moving in a direction of I'm forming Voltron now. I'm moving in a direction of what I did in 2008. And I'm seeing the blocks, and I'm like, oh, this is getting good. This is getting ready to explode. I'm getting ready. Like I said, I'm turning my whole ship around. I'm basically all I've been doing is when I do Facebook Live videos, it's like Clubhouse videos because I've been in Clubhouse so much. Before that, I used to release a ton of content per day in the form of videos and other things, and I'm still going to be doing that because I'm actually building out my team now to continue that up while I head up the front. But I'm going to be pushing all of my audience to Clubhouse, pushing them all to get iPhones. And then when they open up for Android, just pushing everybody there. And I'm going to be living my life out that way in so
Yeah.
many expressions. And this being the first one, which is this morning show piece. So as this unfolds, it's gonna get to some point where like I'm gonna have so many different aspects of the equation. I'm gonna be having other guests on the show that I'm talking to, that I'm interviewing. You know, there's going to be a much bigger audience where there's a lot of people just listening in, and some people that's partaking on the stage or what have you. Um, it's always going to feel like how it feels as far as the undergirding and how we flow, because this blueprint is a blueprint of my personality. Coming out in the midst of an environment, but it's going to be a bunch of things added on top of that. So I really want you to grow with me in that.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And so, you know, that that's, one of the reasons why, I was saying with the moderator deal. And even more so just like, yeah, like I said, it's LT, another voice in the midst. Now, one of the things that I've been telling people about about this, and it's been really interesting. I'm a natural improviser. I'm a person that pays attention to rhythm and flow. The way that I hear life is music. Like life sounds like music to me. When I just hear people talk, I actually hear rhythm and music, right? So when it comes to the way I converse, as you know already, because you hear it every day. I converse in a very musical way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what it does is, and because I'm a natural improviser, but I also have deep education on the other side, it allows me to go in without a script and to flow and for everything to fall exactly where it is, where it's supposed
Mm-hmm.
to be. Um, the people that pay attention, like yourself, and like people like Auntie Gina, just a whole bunch of other people, too many to name, but when you pay attention, then you can feel it, you can see it, and then you know kind of what the rules of our engagement are, what have you. Like you can tell, okay, yeah, you do have the bit like it's not completely. I'm sorry, it's one person at a time as far as like the particular kind of exchange. It's kind of like a show in that way where the host is interviewing different people. But at the same time, it still is a little bit enough looseness to it to where you are able to pop in here and there, make a comment, and that kind of thing. As long as it's like it makes sense and it's like efficient and it's not just like going crazy off on a tangent. It's there are times when everybody can chime in and where we just kind of a free for all, but at the same time, everybody just kind of knows when to reel it in. Like it's a flow, it's a dance, right? And there's some people like yourself that just naturally get that dance, but that's the way that I continue to flow. And even as I structurally build the things on top of that I want to, it'll always have that undergirding. So having a person like yourself, you see that flow, that flow, and you understand it enough to be able to flow with it. With some other people I've had conversations with, they've been like, well, you need to say, that you want this, you need to establish rules, because it's not, but it's really not that. It was really more so just that people weren't listening, actually, because if they were listening, you could hear the flow. You don't necessarily have to be told. Of course, there's some overall ground rules, but you can see that, you can feel the sensibility of it. And that's jazz. Like that's what jazz is. That's what music is. That's what dance is. That's what art is. That's what everything is when it's in that flow, right? So, like I said, when I look at you, you understand my flow in that way, And so how what's that show? Is it the Ricky Smiley show or Steve Harvey show where you got like the other people in there, like Miss Janie and some of the other
and
people?
Strawberry. Yeah, Strawberry.
Okay, I don't think I ever heard of Strawberry. I heard of Miss Janie on, I forgot what show that was.
That must be on Ricky Smiley. Steve Harvey had Cheryl Strawberry up there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking like in those kind of veins where, you have a host and that kind of thing, but you have somebody else that just boom, they play a part in the convo. Everybody knows it's a vibe, and then they play like double dutch. They know kind of when to come in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I appreciate about you. I mean, that's how you are as we flow.
And we do it already though, naturally.
That's what I'm saying. Yep. That's what I was just about to say. Like, that's the thing that, again, was another part of this, that kind of thing where I was like, yeah, I want to go in this direction with LT, you know. So that was one of the, main things that I wanted to just talk to you about, and just connect with you on. Like I said, I really appreciate just everything about who you are so much, from your journey and how it created the person that I meet, at this point in life, and that I share and have so much fun with. And as a person who knows a niche when they see it, and sees where they're going, like I'm looking at you and I'm like, yeah, LT's, you actually are going to be one of the ones that really takes off in this environment naturally, like with the
Appreciate that.
same effort that others are putting in, yours just naturally flows. But it's just because of the ingredients and how it comes together to make you who you are, how you speak and how you show up. So that I just believe in. Like I just believe in you, LT. Like
Thank you.
I believe in you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I just been watching you and just I see you do it, I go do it.
Yes.
You never know if it works if
Yes.
you don't try it. So I'm like, okay, you know. And then, you gave me some assignments to do. I did those assignments. I wrote things down there on my phone.
Right.
And then a couple of times I was feeling like when do I shift? And then the room always let me know that it doesn't need to shift yet. You know what I mean? Someone will come in and I watch the audience and how they're engaging. It's not about my agenda. You know what I mean? So I did change the room up a little, just a tad bit, because we needed to shift the energy. When my light is on, those who are still in the healing process will show up, and they want the parts of me to help them heal. But I always tell them the light is on, but it's only for well-being. So you can get the well-being part of it, but I can't jump back in the pool. I have content that you can go and do the courses on it, but me personally can't get into the pool because I'm out. And I know what it's like to jump back into the pool of the healing world, and I've already done that assignment. You know what I mean? I've come through that assignment. I've done that assignment. I respect the work for those who are still doing it, but I also know what it did for me going back in it. So
Right.
it took me a minute. It took me about like 18 months to get to this point of saying no when people were like, I know she knows it, or OT, let me just, drop you this. And spiritually, like it's been like boundaries that my spirit won't even allow me to go there with them. So I hold love and light, but if the vibe changes and it goes to below a 5, I disconnect. I can't go below a 5. It's too low for me. So
Right. I love it. I love it, LT. Right, you're on point. You're on point. I love what you're saying. And which is another trait. The way that you've been allowing your room to flow and the way you're saying, and then feeling it out, feeling the audience, feeling when it's time for a change. That's why I wanted you to continue. And even from this point, because honestly, what I'm telling you to have done in these last 2 weeks is what I did for the next 4 years straight. And it equaled a huge global brand that allowed me to build that company and work it until 11 to 2015. And to be here to this day to say to you that I haven't worked since 2015 because of what I'm teaching you and telling you to do.
that's beautiful. That's
And
beautiful.
that's why when my mentor when we first met, excuse me, when we first met, he wrote in this music book that he gave me. He said to my star student, he's like, I'm passing down the mantle. And the thing that allowed him us to make that connection was he saw himself in me. He was like, you remind me so much of myself. I know
Okay.
your heart. I know your hunger. I see where you're going. I see who you are. And he poured into me from there because he saw me because he could see himself in me. He recognized my vibe. He recognized my spirit. He recognized who I was. So that's why I'm appreciating. That's why I'm enjoying how this is going because yeah, you're doing all the right things. So yeah, continue to host the Bay Room and continue to just allow each experience to show you what the next experience should be. Literally,
And
literally.
it actually the room will hold itself without me. Like I was just in it with them, and
Right,
they started talking about indigenous people, and so they asked me, reset the room. What's the room about? And I gave them the topic today was how you can be Bay in Clubhouse. That was it.
right,
And
right,
so
right,
the whole concept behind that was how can you build and expand in Clubhouse,
right,
So
right, right,
I
right.
just hit Pam up and they were asking questions about because it was one gentleman who came in the room and that's what he studied. That doesn't mean I don't need to lead. That's not where I'm at. That's not where I study. I don't know any of that content. So why am I even going to add? I just sit and I sat and I listened,
Yeah.
and then I
You know.
told Pam and I'm like, hey, won't y'all, do y'all know how to hold this room? Y'all know how to
Right,
come out of it, go into it or whatever. And I said,
right.
I'm about to jump on a call and I close it when y'all finish. That's it.
LT, you have a wonderful way of flowing where you're doing multiple things at the same time. You're sharing your experience, which is really inspiring and helping people. You're loving on people and showing kindness. You are saying to other people, hey, teach me, I'm open to learn and I'm here. You're holding space in between, and then you're teaching people etiquette and leading. LT, you you really are a leader. You're leader of the tribe. You're leader of the tribe. And
So
real
many
talk.
of them want to host rooms, but they don't know what to do or how to do it. So when
Mhm.
they come in with me and I make them a moderator, it helps them to build up the confidence to be able to hold a room themselves, whether I'm there or not. So I'll leave them on purpose. Like I go and do something else and I come back and I make like 2 or 3 of them a moderator. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And they don't even know that they're holding the room by themselves. After they tell
Right.
me, like, we'll set up the room and they go, oh, I wanted to hold my own, do my own room. And I know fear steps in. So then they'll be
Right.
like, I canceled it. So I go, okay, when you're ready, let me know. But then when I give them the moderation of the room, they're holding the room. They don't even know that they're holding the room.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like you're holding their hand and helping them in a particular way. I'm telling you, people like us, like this environment. If you have not read it yet, LT, please just type in that join Clubhouse like in Google and go to the homepage and click on the words where it says opening in beta soon and read the article, read the manifesto,
Okay.
read it. Yes, ASAP, because what you're going to see is that this app was created for exactly you and me. It's actually created for exactly our type of hearts and what we're doing out here in these Clubhouse streets. Read it.
That's dope.
It will blow you away. I've never in my life seen, developers of an app talk about things like empathy and, and connection and all these things and within their write-up of what this is about. And there's only one other person I know online who's my online mentor, Gary V. Gary V is one who talks about things from this perspective of empathy and love and kindness and all that kind of stuff. But read that and then you'll be like, okay, now this really makes sense. Not only as to why this just is all working out in the way that it is with my personality, but why the environment just fits. So do that for sure.
I will.
Yeah, keep flowing in the way that you're flowing. The other thing, there's a couple other things too in this. So okay. So first place I'll go is I haven't looked at your bio, but duplicate my version of the part in my bio if you haven't already, where I say, if this expression, if any of my Clubhouse, rooms or expressions educate you, inspire you, blah blah blah, you know, and you like to help me to continue to host and hold these spaces, you can do so by getting the information. Um, put your own version of that in your
Mhm.
bio,
Okay.
where it has your PayPal, your Venmo, your Cash App, where it has your buckets. Put your buckets out, your empty buckets. Um, because one of the things, so when it comes to business, there's a principle that I've said for a long time, and my mentor Gary Vee says it this way: whoever can hold their breath the longest wins. And what he's essentially saying is whoever can not monetize their audience for the longest amount of time will be the one that actually wins when it comes to the support that they need or that they get or that they're looking for as far as their business or their careers. So I'm saying what I'm saying here because the biggest thing you can do for the next year, 2 years, me and you both, is continue to just be in this environment doing what we're doing. And we're going to make so much happen, and having those buckets open, we're actually going to start benefiting from that. But where we don't have to immediately move into the mindset of trying to create courses or products. I mean, we'll create those things, but not to where it is just from here to there. Like,
Pam
like where
just
you,
texted me and said we still in here.
nice,
She's
nice.
like, we're still in here. Okay. See, she can hold the room. She didn't
Yes.
think she could, but she can.
And I have to tell you that the only way she can is because of exactly what you're doing now. There is nobody else. I ain't gonna say nobody else, but there's like only a few people that can come on Clubhouse, be only here for 2 weeks, do something like this and leave a room and it actually continue going. People go like, that's real balance and leadership. Like you're very balanced with that and you support and you lead and you guide, you help people feel safe. Like you just do a good job at it. And that's why
Wow,
I'm
thank
saying what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying because see, what I'm gonna help you do, LT, is build an entire empire out of this, like product, service, courses, like the whole nine. What's gonna actually do it is being able to do what I did on YouTube, which was to make 2,000 expressions of something that was damn near free. And because it was free, I made 6 figures off of it.
Mm.
Like, yes, exactly. And I'll tell you more about that whole business in another conversation. Like, I'll break down
Okay.
everything I did, so you'll, but if you get a chance, even to start getting familiar with it, if you haven't already, go to my YouTube channel, the Fruition Music YouTube channel, and just start to check out that aspect of my life and what I built there.
Okay.
So anyway, but I'm saying that to say that you actually walking in the same path, continue to show kindness and love. The goal is to continue to do that for as long as possible, because that's what's going to pour into everything that you structure and build, and your career, your lifestyle. You have a lifestyle brand. If you haven't known that already, you
Yeah,
are a
I did.
lifestyle brand. Perfect. So yeah.
I just shifted all of that
Right.
like last year when I was giving Instagram my total focus. Like I teach this course called The Power of One, and I use the Chick-fil-A and Popeye's theory, how Chick-fil-A became the Chick-fil-A of the game,
Love it. Love it.
And I just used it. I'm like, why are we so scattered? Like, you don't have to be every place at the same time. Take one platform and build until you have like really built out. And so Clubhouse really allowed me to just be me authentically. Like, I don't have to go and create a graphic. I mean, I can if I want, but I don't have to. I don't have to go live, like in that sense, and try to get people. I have people who, as soon as I come on, want to hear what I have to say and show up. Like, I was telling Karen today, I said, Karen, this is the one place that I don't have to prove myself. I'm already approved.
Right.
And she was just like, wow. I said, yeah, I'm just already approved. I said, I can be in a room in the audience and folks be in my tribe is on stage and they automatically go, LT came in the room. And I said, be looking down the thing going, who the hell is LT? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Like,
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, that fits,
Let me tell you, LT, and this is why I say, like, this is like seeing you is like 1997 being in like, say like a place here in Baltimore, like 5 Seasons or like Club 347. I'll say Club 347. That would be like seeing you in this environment is like being in Club 347, walking in and seeing like a singer that in the midst of this open mic of 15 people, you like that person right there. They got the juice. Like, everybody's special in their own unique way, but this person, LT, that doesn't happen to many people in this environment. Like where they come in a room and everybody's like, oh snap, I see this. That does not happen to everybody here. But that shows, again, it's just the magnetism of your personality, is the magnetism of who you are. So that's why I said, okay, the best advice that I will ever be able to give you is, and not that I have to give you this, but just because this is what it is. The best advice I could ever give you is literally do every single thing you see me do, like everything.
Okay.
And like everything, and do it, like duplicate it, and do what comes to you for LT for that, because yes, like that's it. So okay, so a couple more things with regard to this, and then we'll tie a bow on it. So essentially, what this means is, taking it from the top again. When I start, when I'm on at 7:30, what it means is if you're there at 7:30, boom, I'm gonna hit you. You'll be the only person I automatically invite to the stage, right? And when I invite you to the stage, the routine is it's just gonna literally be stage, moderator. You're gonna see the green joint, and then boom. And then from there, as people are pouring in, I'll be doing my normal just like setup, as far as setting up conversationally. I'll be starting to just kind of get into the flow. While I'm doing that, I'll be just naturally conversing with you. It'd be what it be LT, and we'll just be checking in with each other. And so that's how it'll flow.
That
Yeah.
feels amazing. That really feels amazing.
Yes.
because you
Yes.
know our vibe going back and forth will actually strike up and initiate other conversations to bring other people
Exactly.
into. You know what I mean? So like that just was like, oh, oh yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
gotcha.
Exactly. So we'll flow if even if there's nobody in the room, like you and I'll just be talking, and then as people start coming in, because I never bring people up on the stage right away. I kind of give it a few seconds so people can get the opportunity to listen in. It's like I said, it feels intrusive when as soon as you come into an environment, you're just figuring out what it's about. And if somebody send you an invite already, you're like, whoa, like, can I just sit down and just listen for a few minutes? So I'll always give, and this is a mindset thing too, so saying
I've
it
been
for what
following
it's
you. I
worth in
did it
that way.
already. I've
Yeah,
in the main room.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
know if you want to come to the stage. No pressure. If you want to just sit in the room and just listen, you're welcome to do that. But we love to have you up here and have the conversation with us. I've already been modeling it. They know.
Love that shit. Yes. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I always do that. And even as I'm saying this, I'm also rehearsing it for myself too, and just like getting it in my mind. And so I'll do that. I'll set it out. I'll do that. We'll chop it up. And then yeah, when I start bringing people up, I'll do my same flow where it's basically like my goal is to be able to sit with each person one at a time, and just be with them for a sec, love on them, make them feel like they're the only person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Not, you know, not not keep it tasteful where it feels complete, while at the same time it doesn't feel like I just did a long drawn out thing and people are kind of looking at their watches. Just always feeling that balance out
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
you know there's some people that I naturally allow to flow in a particular direction, and then there's other people that I guide. There's some people that I realize immediately that, okay, this is going to be a short one. And the reason why is because I feel how this person is communicating, and I can see where they're about to go. And it's actually about to go off the deep end or whatever. So I'm going to help them, coach them, still make them feel complete, but I'm going to do it in, this amount of time. And I wait to hear that moment. I can hear that moment when it's like, boom, there's the moment. And then there's other times when I'm just like, hey, so what's on your mind? Then I just let the person go. And even when I let them go, I'm still not like letting them go. I'm still feeling this whole thing. I'm still feeling the whole song. Like every session I do feels like an album to me. It feels like songs, it feels like a song of complete. So at the end, I feel this completeness. And so naturally, just being an improviser, that means you flowing away. Some things are short, some are long. Some you let everything open up and go wild. Sometimes you keep it tight. You have that constant fluctuation, that constant balance. And so I'm feeling that. I'm thinking about that. I'm literally in the flow. And so yeah, that'll just be how I continually flow. And there'll be things that I do in the moment where all of a sudden I'm making like a complete flip decision. And then there are other times when I'm like seeming so relaxed, but it'll all be like in the same mindset. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It'll all be just very, very much aware, very much in the presence, in the moment. Um, and yeah, and like I said, we'll go from there. This will also give you the ability, to, invite other people in, if for some reason, I'm doing something and it makes sense for you to bring a person up on a stage, like it'll be all other kind of like little things that just be a part of it.
Yeah, and
But
it's gonna help me in such a way of just balancing out any kind of the kinks that I have and when I'm moderating. Like, and
right,
it just will help me stay in the flow of what it was like being on radio. Like the first
right,
time you get up here, you're like you're talking too loud to the mic, and then you have to back up, right?
right,
So then
right,
it just helps to balance all of that.
100%. 100. You couldn't be more correct, which is another reason why I'm excited about doing it, because it's like it's both like you bring something to the table, and at the same time you get to learn like right up close and personal, being in it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and having a part in it. One of the best ways I learned how to play music, like to the degree that I do now, is actually just being thrust in it and being able to find my way to swim. But there's a safe zone where I could do it. You know, it wasn't like a million feet deep and like big waves. It was just enough. You know, and that's how I feel. Excuse me. That's how I feel. This is, you know, for you and even for me as I continue to grow. So yeah, that's that. And I'm so excited to have this, to just have this connection in this way with you. I'll um I'll pretty much I'm shooting for the 7:30 to 10:30 frame right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've I've kind of looked at that, and I think for right now, at least that's going to be my goal. Every now and then, when I decide to just kind of let it roll over, it'll just literally be intentional. Um, and then, you know, it'll be shorter on days when I have other things that happen, like, you know, appointments and doctor's appointments and, you know, just different life things. But I think,
Mm-hmm.
but the round like figure that I'm gonna be doing, that I'm setting up my life around, is like that 7:30 to 10:30 window.
Yeah,
Um,
which is a good time. I noticed that you did that too. That kind of
yeah,
like not allow, won't interrupt the rest of the flow of your day when you have stuff going on, when you kind of set the intention around this
right,
time.
right, 100%. Yep. And so I get up now. Now I'm starting to wake up an hour and a half early before that, because I get up, I do my stretching and my meditation and my self-care journey work, my 10% happier self-care journey work. You know, I do that and then flow from there, you know, put something on my belly, you know, get my green ready, get a little wake and bake happening, get my
Yeah.
tea, and then I'm ready, you know. So that's my flow, you know, and that's kind of how I think about it, how I prepare. So yeah, so it'll be loosey goosey. It'll be fun. Like I said, when you're there, you're there. It's always just as it flows with the flow of your life, and I just look forward to continuing what we already been doing and continue to just grow. You know, in that way. You know,
That works. That works, man. I'm there.
100%. And then last but not least, um, definitely going to connect with you soon. As far as, you know, sitting down with you and having a session about your brand. Um, it's a couple things that's happening right now. So I have my gems concept, which is just like this, where I'm just chopping it up with people. And then now Sherry and I are actually building a business. We're taking both of our businesses and putting it together, and, you know, launching this consulting business. So, you know, I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to be sending you, you know, just some things that's all a part of this, and we'll chop it up, because I definitely want to sit down with you soon and
Okay.
we do a chop up about your brand, because yeah, it's time. What I'm doing is, I was supposed to be on vacation again this week, but my flight got canceled. So I'm gonna be here this week, and um, I may be flying out for a week next week, but I'm still gonna be doing Clubhouse and that kind of thing. And in these next coming weeks, like this next, like really these next couple weeks, like the rest of January, we're starting to get the gears turning on this consulting business. We're dropping clients in now. We're starting to form the schedule, and we got work, you know, coming our way. So I'll be I'll be sending you probably like a Calendly link that allows you to
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like select the time that works for
Mm-hmm.
you, you know. But I just wanted you to notice as these coming weeks go, so you know what's going on with me, because
Okay.
I'm definitely going to plan a date with you and just
Okay.
moving through this process of setting everything up.
Perfect. That works. I'm with you.
Sweet,
I'm with
sweet.
you.
That's what's up. Well, this has been amazing. And you
Yes.
know, I'm not going to keep you much longer. Is there anything else that you want to know from me, or, you know, anything before we get out of here?
Nope. I'm just watching, observing, and
That's what's up.
moving accordingly. So yeah.
That's what's up. Well, that's what's
I,
up,
I
LT.
will. I will. All questions will be answered through observation. Sometimes you don't have to ask the question; you just watch.
100%.
And while you watching and observing, it gives you clarity. And so, to ask the question beforehand is being premature. Just go with
Right.
it. Trust the
Experience.
process.
The experiential method. I love it, LT.
Yeah.
LT, cheers. I don't have my wine glass, but I pick up my a bottle. Cheers to some good time.
Hey.
Yay! There you go. Like mine. Like mine. OMG.
So I will
OMG.
see you in the morning at 7:30.
Sounds good, LT. Onward and
Awesome.
upward, and
Thank you
definitely look
so much.
forward to it. You too,
Because
LT.
I'm looking like my phone, like you like, are you available to do a Zoom? And I'm like, it depends on who it
First
is.
of all, who is this? First of all,
I'm like,
who the hell is this?
I'm like, hey, who's
right.
this? Yes, it depends on who this is.
I
I'm not going to
totally
have a
forgot.
Zoom and I have not. Doesn't make any sense. Like, like, okay.
Oh, God.
There's like, hey, I'm like,
Oh my God.
man. Yeah.
That's so funny. LT, in all the years that I have had a phone, like I literally, this is the first time in like 20 years where I made a mistake and gave somebody the wrong number. And I totally forgot when I texted you that you didn't have my number already. It's like,
I'm like, yeah, like I didn't have it. I'm like, okay. Whoever this
oh
is,
my
like,
God.
yeah.
Oh my
We can.
God.
It just depends on who it
It's
is, man. Because
the
I promise you, you're supposed to be messaging me and saying, "Hey, can you?" And then with this phone, because it's my newer iPhone, I'm
Right.
like, some numbers I don't even have. So somebody
Right.
texted me today, and they called me, and I sent them a voicemail. It's a New Jersey number. I'm pretty sure it's somebody here, and I'm like, "Hey, text me. I'm on a call." And they're like,
Right.
"Okay, just giving my love to the family," and I still don't know who it is.
Right.
So I gotta call them back and go,
Right.
"Hey," and then when I hear,
Right.
"Oh, hi,"
Oh yeah.
I was gonna text and say, "Who is
Right.
this?" I was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna do
Right.
that."
That's so funny. I think about that all the time, because I always try to like give the best impression, but and so when people call me or when they do that and I'm like, okay, I need to ask who this is. I'm like, okay. I don't want to just say like, yeah, so sure, but who is this, But
Yeah.
now I'm just like shit. I just, hey, I don't have this number in my phone,
Right.
so.
Like, what's the correct way to tell somebody that you don't have the number?
Hey, right.
Did I get no? And I don't be wanting to jinx my phone and be like, oh well, my phone is nah. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
who is this?
Right. Who is this again?
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you one of the things I always say is like, I got an iPhone 11 now, and I guess I had it for like the last year or so, but I always be like, I'm always like, hey,
I got a new phone.
I got a new phone,
And
so
your number is not in this phone.
at some point, like, and I'm like, technically it's true because I did get a new phone at some point, and this is a phone I don't.
See, I'll be looking for the truth in it too. Like, yeah, last time we talked, your number not in here, and they say we got to catch up. I'm like, we must have talked a long time.
Right. Yeah, I just be straight up
people
at this
naming their
point.
phone according to who they are to me. Like,
Right.
like, I put like little symbols by them. Like, okay.
Right. Right.
So totally get
man.
it, man. I totally get it.
Right.
And I ain't taking no nap today, so I'm about to sit down somewhere and take a nap. It's
yes.
late over here, but it's what 3:30, 4:30 at home. So 3:40 something.
Right.
My body is going. You have not napped. You have not.
Right.
Sit down or something. My sister want to
Right.
eat, and if she ain't eating, I mean, it's. I can see my maturity in coming home. Usually, when I come here, I'm just riding. I got the car. I'm riding around. I ain't been nowhere besides up, doing a party for my brother. But that's it, like literally. So we were supposed to go to dinner or something today, and I don't know what happened. I think everybody tired because we party hard yesterday. So I think everybody tired at this point. So I'm gonna see where everybody at in a few minutes after I wake up from this nap.
Right. OMG.
Yeah,
LT. Oh
I
man.
know, I know, man. But you know what? I'll be
I
your
love
way
it.
Saturday. I
This
think
coming
I'm.
Saturday?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna come through on Saturday because my children are still doing virtual learning, so I can't drive with them during the day because they won't be in school. So the only day that I probably be able to pull out is Saturday morning. So I'm like, all
Ah,
right.
that's perfect. That's perfect. Yes, that's perfect. I will be in town as far as I know, because ticket prices this week are extremely expensive. So I think I'm gonna have to fly out next week. So yeah, I'm gonna be in town. So Saturday. Yes. Let's plan for that. Let's figure that out. Now
Well, I have your
I'll get
number
in my
now, so
calendar.
I know how to get in touch with you.
Right, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I'll figure out if when we get closer, let me know the window and that kind of thing. So that way I could really, narrow it down.
Okay.
Cause
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I'm because I was just like I just been such in this flowy kind of space. Like, yeah, I'll just get here when I get here. Like no
right,
rush. Usually when I
right,
come on this
right.
coast, I'm rushing everywhere. Let me go rush here. Let me go rush here. And I didn't have to. Like I didn't. I only booked my
Mm,
ticket back was because to rent the car, I had to have a ticket to go back. And so I was just
right,
like, okay. Because I told my kids, I'm like, we'll stay until the 28th, but we're going to leave on the 22nd. So we'll drive down in a little bit on Saturday. We'll be here for the rest of this week. I don't know
right,
what I'm going to do. I literally don't know what I'm going to do these 4 or 5 days that I'm here.
right.
I
Right.
have no clue, which is
Well, the
weird.
good, I feel you, especially like you say when you used to moving like that. Yeah, I definitely feel you. Well, I think that's a good
Yeah.
problem to have. That like you don't have any pressing where a place to be.
The only place I needed to be was here by Sunday. And I got here by
Right.
Sunday. But other than that, I have nothing else on the agenda to kind of,
Yeah.
nothing. So
LT, let me tell you this. This is about to be an amazing year for you, an amazing year of moving and shaking in different ways. So,
I
as we
received
start
that.
this year, yes, as
It
we
goes
start
back to
this
what you
year,
said about
yeah,
the overnight success in a sense,
yeah,
where the last 4 or 5 years I've been just building my brand and really pouring into it and making sure that everything in my brand matches who I am. And
right,
I really feel like I have totally aligned. And I really feel like I interrupted what I would normally do when things got a little scary for me was run back and do what I would normally do in my profession. And Spirit kept saying to me, I don't want you to do that. I
right,
want you just to trust that I got you this time. And I was
yeah,
like, okay. And so that's what I did, which interrupted a pattern of me running back and forth to doing what I would professionally do. You know what I mean? So, and I feel totally aligned at this point.
LT, the reason why I recognize you is because I recognize myself. I follow my heart, no one else, and you do too. And that's why you where you are. Oh my gosh, yo, it's so cool. I'm excited. I see what's about to happen. Because again, this is not new to me. So that's why I'm so excited. For sure. I'm glad with like I said, with what I feel this year is about to be, I'm glad actually that you get a chance to start it off in this way because allow yourself to just not feel rushed, move easy, like you say,
Mm.
flow by spirit and feel, and continue to listen. Because I promise you, what's happening is this, LT. This is what's happening.
Mm. I
Yeah,
feel
that's what's happening. So enjoy this part. Enjoy this. Yeah. Because once we're here and we're doing like this, it's gonna be because of how you are self-aware now. That's gonna allow you to still be in the same place of that when we're here, and especially when it goes from here to this.
I receive that. I can feel it. I can feel it. And it feels so at peace. It feels easy. It feels aligned. It feels centered. It feels at home. It feels like my sweet spot. You know what I mean? It feels natural. it feels unattached. You know what I mean? To anything. It just feels like flow. It really feels like flow.
That's what it is. On that tip, I gotta send you. I gotta send you my song, the last song that I did with my rap group in 2001. It was called "Let It Flow," and it was the #1 song that we were known for in our whole youthful career.
Really?
Yep, I'm gonna send it
That's
to you.
dope.
I'm gonna send it
Okay.
to you as soon as we get off the phone.
That's
I
dope.
was a in this song I was a 21-year-old rapper. Yeah, because we made that. Yeah, I wasn't 21. I'm sorry. In this, I was an 18-year-old rapper in this song.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now, and it's called
Okay.
"Let It Flow." And in fact, it's gonna actually be a track that I bring back to make a part of this morning show experience as I keep switching with my music and just having fun with the backdrop with making the music that I make. So
That's awesome.
that's what's up, LT. So this has been great, and again, man, it's just so good to meet you in this
Thank
way, and
you.
I can't wait for the next
Yeah.
iteration in the process. I'm actually
I
glad
know, right?
I'm meeting you in doses like this because I might have exploded. Like I might have just spontaneously combusted. Like
Hey man, everybody needs a little tea. You know what I mean? LT, a little tea. You know, just a little tea.
right,
Just a little
right.
tea. So you
Oh
only get a
man,
little bit at a time, because
right.
just a little bit
Too
of tea.
much. You be blinded by the sun. It's too much. You know you gotta prepare for that shit.
That's awesome. Oh,
LT,
Aaron,
it's been
send me the
great.
stuff. I will see you in the morning. I'm about to relax and find
Yes,
food.
yes,
All right.
yes. Get
Thank you
some
so
good
much.
rest, LT.
I appreciate you.
Much love.
All
All
right, we'll
right
talk
now.
soon. See you tomorrow.
Bye for now. Peace.